Hey, hi, hello. Welcome to Collide at the Mill at PopKorn with a Twist. Here we are with Virginia Githiri, also known as Dr. G, and she's going to talk to us all about popcorn today.
So this is our classic caramel, which is made old-fashioned, so we use real butter. Cookies and cream. We have a lot of vegan-friendly options, or some people like to call it plant-based. We have a garlic pepper, orange candied, grape candied. This is creamy banana pudding. Now, this is delicious.
Hey, Virginia, how you doing?
I'm doing well, Sam. Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for saying yes. Thanks for taking your time.
Of course.
We were just out at the kitchen, so we got a bunch of cool footage of making popcorn and all that you do out there. And here we are now at your storefront. Where's your storefront?
So this is on 122 South College Avenue. It's on the corner of 4th and College. In 2007, I actually went to a Super Bowl party. So I had the idea to bring popcorn. It was crazy because that was the year that the Colts were playing. If we have any Colts fans out there. So I thought, I'm going to make blueberry popcorn and I'm going to make chocolate popcorn because I love chocolate. And then I knew that a popular mix, because I'd been to a popular popcorn shop in Chicago. So I knew a popular variety of popcorn was cheese and caramel. So those are the four
Yes,
types.
I've heard that's like a Chicago thing.
Yes, it is. So those are the four varieties that I took to the party. And people were asking me, where'd you buy this? Oh, my God. And I'm like, I made it. Are you selling it? Girl, you need to sell this. So I was like, oh, okay. And I'm a serial entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur since before I was 20. So I thought, oh, okay, well, let me create a popcorn shop. So I researched what I needed to do to have a legitimate food business in the state of Indiana and found that if I wanted to do anything outside of a farmer's market, I legally needed to be working out of a commercial kitchen. So drove all the way to Madison, Indiana to rent their space in their commercial kitchen, cooked the product, packaged it, did not have a retail space at the time, but just told people I sold it. So I did mail orders. I had a little website. People ordered from random places. And it was really encouraging, but it just wasn't the time. I didn't have all the resources I needed. So I think that speaks to the fact that a lot of times we have dreams and visions about things, right? And we may even get them started and launch them, but we may have to stop. And it doesn't mean that the thing is necessarily, we should just forget about it. It just means that maybe that's not the time or the season, or maybe there's something more that we need, right, to really be able to do it effectively. So I
And you probably learned a lot.
I did.
About what you needed.
Oh, my God, I did. It definitely taught me that you have to be able to turn over all the rocks to see what you can possibly do sometimes before you completely have to quit. So yeah, but it lay dormant until 2016. 2016, I would say spring, I kept getting this reminder within myself, start popcorn again. And I was like, what? No, but I kept every time. I'm a really big believer in meditation and prayer. And every time I would quiet myself to do those activities, during the day that I do in the morning, I would hear this and I'd be like, this is real. I'm a professor. I ain't got time for all that. But I'm glad that I responded to that message, because this second iteration of this company is incredible. It's amazing. So, I kind of let it go, but several years later, it was reminder, you got this thing that you're really excited about. You should think about it again. So I'm glad that I restarted.
So you're always thinking about flavors. You have so many flavors. It's kind of ridiculous.
I
Looking
love
on your
to eat,
website,
Sam. I love to eat.
Yeah. So how do you come up with all those flavors? And do they all sell? How does it work with shelf life?
Yes. So I would say 8 times out of 10, we hit it on the mark. There are a few that I think are just too way out.
Average?
Yeah. There are a few that are just too way out there, and we're bad. This was a bad move. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to put that in the vault, right? Uh-huh. But because I am a food person and I see popcorn as a blank canvas, I conceived this Southern candied yams. And in the South, you don't put marshmallows in your candied yams. That's disrespectful. Do not do that, please and thank you. You use a lot of butter, brown sugar, white sugar, sometimes corn syrup, and nutmeg is the only spice. So I dehydrated sweet potatoes and made the candy with the corn syrup, brown sugar, white sugar, and used nutmeg as the only spice. And we had candied yam popcorn. And it was with butter. And when people ate that, they were saying that they could taste the yams reconstituting in their mouths. That's what I was going for. So I think sometimes flavors come to me that way, and I'll tinker with a recipe until I can figure out how, because I like tricking people's minds. I like when people are courageous enough to bite into a crazy flavor. If I'm going to eat, listen, friends, I need to be satisfied. I need to eat and dance because I'm so happy about what I'm eating, right? So that's how I do flavors. I really like depth of flavor. I like it to be fun. I like it to be creative. I like to trick people's minds so that they're thinking, what in the world?
So your bacon one.
Yes.
Where's the bacon flavor come
So
from?
it would be my preference to use big slabs of bacon in the bag. You know, but the issue is that it's not shelf stable. So I do use a very high quality product that is from real bacon that's shelf stable. It's pricey, but when you taste that, you think you're eating bacon. It's pretty wild.
From there, let's jump into sourcing. So
Okay.
I like to ask about sourcing.
We buy our corn and a lot of our products in bulk from a concession-specific company. And they come from like Nebraska, Illinois. We use refined coconut oil, and it lacks the odor and taste of coconut. So I actually like what coconut oil does to the popcorn. I think it crisps it up really nice when we're popping it. And also it's very neutral if it's refined. So we do have to let people know, though, because some people are very allergic to tree nuts, and coconut is a tree nut. I just prefer the taste of it. There are other popping oils that can be used. Some of them I feel like leave a film or a coating on your tongue, and I don't like that mouthfeel. So coconut oil works for us.
Let's talk about hiring or help. If there were any like kind of systems or processes, you figured that out, or
So my current manager, his wife is one of my best friends of 20 years. So I'll wait till she walks by. Bye. Thank you. You too, honey. Thank you so much. We've just known each other forever, and I know his work ethic, and he's a good dude, and he's like, I call him the mayor. He's amazing. Everybody loves him. In terms of part-time staff, typically it might be a friend that I know that's like they've got a high schooler or a early college person that needs a job. I've just been fortunate to be able to hire people that I know and trust. If we have a really big order, 400 bags, 500 bags, 1,000 bags that we need to turn over quickly, then I have a list of people that I can call on. But outside of that, it's pretty much Fred is really running the whole operation. Especially with the pandemic, we cut down. We had a couple more part-time people, but of course we let them go.
And so we're hanging out here at the shop. But this is kind of the easy stuff, right?
Yes.
Like you're probably, this is the duck on top of the water, and you're pedaling down below.
Absolutely.
Production and bagging it and
oh
making
God,
this stuff.
that's a lot. That's the stuff you don't see, and that's the part that takes 70 to 80% of our time, even just bagging.
Right. Yeah. Wow.
It's a very laborious task to get these little balls of popcorn in this bag. It's a lot, but we love doing it for y'all. We love doing it. But yeah, that part takes a lot of time. And that's the part that we don't do here because we're not approved for, cooking or packaging here. This is literally just a dispensary, if I could use that, just a walk-in, walk-out retail space.
So you're a vendor at IU.
Yes.
That's kind of a big deal. That's a really big deal.
Yes, it is. It's huge. So when I first started my company, or when I restarted, I was very intentional to go to Indiana University Office of License, the licensing office and trademark office, because I wanted to become a vendor. So I became a Indiana University licensed vendor. Licensed meaning that I have the rights to sell my popcorn in, for instance, the tins that have the Indiana University logo on them. I have a few names in the licensing office of my popcorn flavors that are similar to some of the IU names, like the Cream and Crimson, Crimson Drizzle. I had to get approval for that. We do pay royalties when we sell popcorn that has semblance or likeness of IU.
So that volume must be just kind of through the roof.
Yeah, when
That's your
IU
big
is open.
moneymaker, right?
Oh, yeah. When IU is open, we do a lot at one time. So they'll order, like any school or department can order from us. So we have had times when I think our biggest order from any singular department has been like 1,800 bags at a time. That's a lot of popcorn.
Is that if they're having like a conference or something?
Yes, yep. But it's great. I mean, that because we get exposure from everywhere, and then sometimes we get residual orders online from that because we have our website on the bag label. So another thing is, so different than being a licensed vendor, we're also the IU producer of popcorn now. So athletics is a different space. We're not in there yet, but in terms of IU, Indiana University itself, so meaning that we're on the catering menu for IU. We're my popcorn since November 2019 has been the popcorn that you purchase when you go to the IU auditorium, when you go to a show there, when you go to the ballet. You're going to purchase our popcorn. So that really, I feel very fortunate and thankful because not only am I a full-time faculty member at IU in the School of Public Health, but I'm also an alumni. Several alumna is the proper term for female gender people that identify as female. So I'm an alumna of IU multiple times, including my PhD. So I feel very thankful and fortunate that I, not only obviously work here, but also that that the university recognizes, right, entrepreneurship, and I feel pride to be able to, produce, that I have a company that produces a great product that IU actually likes. So it's pretty good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. It's not easy to get your foot in the door there.
No, it is not.
I know that I tried doing that and I didn't get very far.
Yeah, I'm grateful.
So that's cool. How has COVID affected you? So obviously with campus being not what it used to be.
Correct. Yeah, so there's, of course, the theaters everywhere around the world have gone dark. So no ballet shows, no IU auditorium shows. So, they're not ordering 1,000 bags at a time because there's no shows. I'm grateful that I have a product that we were able to fairly quickly pivot, meaning that when we shut down, when we were ordered to shelter in place, because we're not necessarily considered essential, I think we are, because it's popcorn. I mean, who doesn't want popcorn, right? But no, seriously, we're not essential. So in that sense. And so we sheltered in place from March until, did we open back up in July, I think, Fred, maybe? Yeah. But in the interim, people were ordering online. So we were able to offer online. And because people were used to being able to come into our retail space several days a week as a trade-off, for a few months, I offered free shipping locally. Now, just full transparency, yes, when you do things like that as a small company, you're eating a lot of costs. Like that was very expensive for us, like hundreds of dollars expensive. But I wanted to do that. I thought it was a good trade-off. Definitely, we got a lot of business from that. And the beautiful thing is that business, that support has continued. And so having to pivot that way was a little, not really necessarily difficult at first, but difficult in the sense of having to make people know or understand that they can still get our popcorn, even though our physical doors are closed. Because in the production facility, it's a licensed commercial kitchen. So it's approved by the state. We have to have certain procedures in place. Of course, we all have masks, gloves. We do the same sanitary procedures to keep things clean and safe. And that's a 24/7 locked facility. So we were able to continue to produce even whilst the doors of the retail space were closed. And then we decided to open in, I believe it was July, just at 4 days a week, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I guess 3 days a week. But it's worked out fine. So we're open noon to 5, Thursday through Saturday. And part of that is intentional because the fact that this is a college town. About 1/3 of the people that would normally be here are not because of how the university is conducting class. And I don't want to forget about Ivy Tech. So those two universities in town are conducting classes in a different way. So a large part of the student population and faculty are not here. So again, business decisions using wisdom, it's not really necessarily meet for us to be open 6-7 days a week. So we decided to keep that kind of compromise schedule. And next year, this time, we anticipate we'll be open 5 days again. But right now, we just are doing what we have to do. But I'm thankful that we were able to pivot. And I've spent more time, moonlighting PopKorn because we did need to let go our part-time staff. We really just couldn't guarantee them hours. So
This is your third location, at least, right? So
it is.
You had one on Kirkwood.
Yes, it was the old historic Victoria Towers. So we were on the first floor of that space. We'd only been there even less than a year because the mall reached out to us.
So then you jumped to the mall.
Jumped into the mall.
How long were you there? How'd that go?
We were there about 2 years. I'm also a full-time faculty member in the School of Public Health at IU Bloomington. So I can't work during the day. And, paying staff to kind of sit there and there not being much traffic in the mall just because shopping trends have changed, it just got a little difficult for me to justify that. So anyway, decided to close up shop.
And then did you move immediately to here, or did this come up a little down the road?
This came up down the road. So I started thinking, oh my God, it's PopKorn, it's retail. We need a space that people can at least come in and pop in, pun intended, pop in to get their popcorn for holiday. We came into this space, I believe was it December? No, it was actually for Black Friday. Yeah, so it was within a couple of weeks of closing the mall, was able to secure the space to do a pop-up for holiday season 2019. So it worked out really well, and we're still here, and we're now 2020, November. Yeah, so it's been about a year now. I'll tell you, Sam, it's really, and we might get into some of this, but I think that...
And it's more just a pop in.
Yes.
Pop in and pop out. It's not like a cafe where you hang out.
Correct. Of course,
they're coming in for your product. It's kind of a destination.
Absolutely. They're intentional to come in. But we do, I think, grab some of the walk-in traffic. Yeah, we do get some of that. But again, I think we're in a unique situation just holistically in our world in that we're in a pandemic.
And then you also do a lot of events.
We do. We've done some popcorn bars for weddings, fairs, festivals. We were fortunate to be part of the state fair, the Indiana Grown Marketplace, for a few years, which was great. We also were fortunate to be part of the Yelp Christmas Holiday Bazaar for 2 years, but it's so interesting because all of those things this year are virtual. Mm-hmm. We also did something in town local for a couple years called the Whippoorwill Market, which is a big farmhouse on the east side of town.
The what market?
The Whippoorwill.
Whippoorwill.
With a W, Whippoorwill.
Whippoorwill.
Yeah.
Next up is my favorite part of the show, the distribution disco. How do people get what you do? Thanks for laughing.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, how do people get what
amazing.
you do in terms of your actual product, but also your messaging?
Yes. Since the company's been established, I've spent less than $5,000 on paid advertising and marketing just because as a sole owner, single owner, self-funded company, I have to be careful about budgeting, right? So I can't necessarily I don't have a $100,000 budget for advertising. Social media wasn't around.
And so where did you spend that? Was it radio ads or?
Haven't done radio, but I've done a few, like Facebook ads, a few little Facebook ads and buying different things to send for free or like giveaways. Mm-hmm. That's where we really spent most of our money for marketing.
Okay.
So in terms of other spaces where we've been highlighted, we've been very fortunate that like the Herald Times has done a couple of articles on us. Bloom Magazine, shout out to Malcolm and his staff. They've been incredibly amazing. We have a lot of VIPs, a few VIPs that I can name, like Scott and others that's here. And they have really done amazing with word of mouth and telling people about our product, posting about it, and they influence other people. So those, I would say, local influencers have really been impactful in helping to sell our product. And you can't pay for that. You can't pay them enough to say thank you. So that's been really helpful for us, but that's what we've done so far. But I know for sure, being able to move this company in terms of visibility out of Bloomington and out of the state, we will have to consider some paid marketing opportunities. It's almost impossible not to.
And for distribution, so you have this retail store and then you mail a lot of stuff.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you have any other outlets or places you want to go? Or do you have your eye on Kroger or any grocery stores like that? Absolutely.
We would love to do, one of the Krogers, maybe a Target. I would love to get into Target. I think Target would be amazing. that does take a little time, but it's possible. It's doable. I think that our experience in being in Lucky's was great. One thing that I'll say is that when you're in a retail space, you have to check up on your product. You have to, because they have thousands and thousands of products. And so it's not necessarily their responsibility to call, PopKorn lady in Bloomington and say, hey, we're low on cheddar cheese popcorn. They're just not going to do that. It's just not that, it's not their concern necessarily. So you have to have a dedicated person who's going to do that on a regular basis. When they allow you to come in to do tasting and testing, you need to take advantage of those opportunities so you can get FaceTime with potential customers, right, for your product. But we've been in a few spaces. We've had our product in the Indiana Visitor Center that's on Walnut Street here in town as you're leaving town. We've had our product in Lucky's, as I said, Lucky's Market when they were open. Blooming Foods for a little while. Let's see. There's a Milford, Indiana. I think it's called Milford, Indiana. We had a store. We had our products in a store in Milford, Indiana, and that was amazing because that came about by a couple who were visiting Bloomington. They came into the shop, bought the popcorn. When we were on Kirkwood, came back and said, we'd love to sell your popcorn in our store.
Wow.
That was incredible. So, and they make cheese balls and bakeries. They have a bakery. But again, with COVID, a lot of things have kind of slowed. But we're hopeful and believe that they'll pick back up.
So last thing, let's talk about last big question. Mm-hmm. At the mill, we have a podcast called Like a Glove that is a podcast all about product market fit. Mm-hmm. How does your product fit to the market? And what sort of demands do you feel and are you trying to react to, or you're creating different flavors to make a new market? Mm-hmm. Or who's your target audience? How does all that work?
So our target audience is, I can describe it by way of socioeconomic status or fiscal demographics. So I would say people who are working people typically has been the target market from the beginning, because I realize very clearly that this is a college town. And in my mind, college students are transient. They're very, very important to the economy of Bloomington, but they're transient. And so for what I sell, it has to be somebody that has a little more disposable income to buy it regardless. So I've kind of fixated on people that are working people. And then I would say another specialty market are people that are looking for something unique. We get a number of customers that come in store and are looking for something local that is germane to Bloomington to send to someone for a gift or in a package, a care package that they're sending. So that's another type of customer, someone that's looking for a unique kind of one-off specialty product. And I think we do that because of the number of flavors that we have. Also, another one of our, I guess, groups of people that we like to market to or highlight are people that want something special that can be made. Because popcorn, I see it as a blank canvas. So we can customize flavors, we can customize colors, and we have done that for weddings, for parties. People will use their own labels that they create, or they'll ask us to create a specialty label. So it's definitely going to also be a very special niche of people that want something that they may not necessarily know how to make or want to make, but we can create for them that is really special for them. So, yeah.
Cool. A very custom product. Mm-hmm. All right. So last thing, we got the Collide Quick Quiz coming at you.
Yes.
We're bringing back the Collide Quick Quiz. I basically just forgot about it on the last couple episodes. But it's a thing we used to do when we used to have the real event. Mm-hmm. We'd always finish up with a Collide Quick Quiz. So It's like a blank or blank. Mm-hmm. And you choose your favorite. Mm-hmm. But before that, just anything else you want to talk about?
Yes.
And where do we find you if you want to find your product?
Yes. So you can find us on our website. It is www.popkorn, POPKORN, twist.com. The physical location, again, is 122 South College Avenue here in Bloomington. It's on the corner of College and 4th. And we are open Thursday through Saturday, noon to 5 p.m.
But yeah, was there any last minute?
Yeah, so I would definitely say don't give up. If you have a vision or a dream for something, you need to stick with it. What you see here was not built in a day. This is a 10-year plus dream that I had. I started originally in 2007. Because I didn't have the resources and everything I need, I closed within less than 2 years. Yeah, okay, I was a little discouraged when I closed at first, but I just kept getting the ping, the desire, this like nudging to restart it almost a decade later. When we reopened, they'd say, oh, the PopKorn lady's back. And that really like touched my heart. But just stick with it. There's a reason why you have that dream, you have that vision. People who are successful, you only see the outcome. And social media is the biggest lie ever. We need it, but please don't hang your hat on thinking your life has to be what looks like in social media, because social media is either made up or it's the finished product. You don't see the interim. You don't see the making. You don't see the breaking. You don't see the, crying and fussing and cussing and hard times and no's and losses. You don't see that part of it. So I don't want you to be ill-informed that part is not there, because it is, right? There's a lot of losses. We would have, oh my God, I could keep Sam here for another three hours talking about all of the maybe losses that I've had, or all of the disappointments that I've had, or all the sacrifices I've made. But it's implied that those things have happened. So what I'm saying is if I don't say anything else that you've heard today, stick with it. Do not give up. Because if it's something, a vision, a dream that you have, if you give up, you're going to have to keep restarting. So just stick with it.
Cool. Persistence.
Yes.
Patience.
Absolutely.
Good things come to those who keep at it.
I love it. Yes, that's right. Because if you're waiting and doing nothing sometime, you'll just be waiting and doing nothing. So, yeah.
Well, thanks so much, Virginia.
Yeah, thank
for
you.
All these wise words of experience.
Thank you.
And let's get down to the Collide Quick Quiz. Are you ready?
Okay, I think so.
And then we're going to wrap it up, and then we're going to be done.
Oh, my God. Okay.
And then we're going to have to eat some popcorn.
Yes, it's delicious.
The Collide Quick Quiz.
Oh, gosh.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, don't overthink it. Also, that's part of it.
Okay.
They're pretty silly. Not a big deal. So, popcorn, at the movies or at the game?
Ooh, at the movies.
Follow-up question, scary or funny movies?
Funny.
Funny. Had you answered the game, follow-up question to that, football or basketball?
Basketball.
Downtown or the mall?
Downtown.
Butter or margarine?
Oh.
Or other?
Ooh, probably butter.
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 Yeah. I don't even understand margarine.
Yeah. Let's say butter.
Butter. Maybe coconut oil.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
butter.
Cool. Well, that's the Collide Quick Quiz.
Okay.
Thanks again for joining us here at the Mill.
You.
And thanks,
you,
Virginia.
Sam.
Dr. G.
Yes.
And
thank you for having me.
Thanks for all this time.
Of course.
Today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me. And thanks, everybody. We love you for your support. We appreciate it. Thank you so much.
See you next time at Collide.